2022 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by JBL Roofing and Construction. Sports fans and homeowners alike, let me take this moment to tell you about JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and an insured contractor with experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let our team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463. That's 330-677-9463. Or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare services, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or call them at 330-304-7267. That's 330-304-7267. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop, a staple of the community since 1954. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there is no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. And TNT Construction, your top choice for residential, commercial remodeling, construction, and building services, not only in Cleveland, but all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com. The final position group of the 2022 NFL Draft and the prospect rankings, about to unveil my top 3 safeties in this class. Safety, not a position of major need throughout most of the NFL. Again, a few teams that do need some safeties, but again, we've seen some shuffling of safeties throughout the offseason as well. There are a few good ones here on the board. It is one of the thinner position groups, if not the thinnest in this entire draft, but there is some excellent talent at the top of this list. So starting off at number 3, Jaquan Brisker of Penn State. Brisker really popped off the screen when I had watched Penn State play this past year and then evaluating him as a prospect as well. He's just an athletic freak. He has outstanding hitting power. He makes big play after big play, it feels like, in the secondary. Really good coverage, some nice ball production where he can get to the football, pick up some interceptions, even come up and force some fumbles. He finds a way to get his nose on the football. One of the best tackling safeties in the class, not really a concern of him not wrapping up tacklers. Again, he's going to deliver a hard blow. A lot of things that Brisker does well, but I would like to see him be a little bit more consistent than have those big flashes. Yes, he'll make play after play, but then there will be a little bit where Brisker does feel like he disappears here or there, but then he'll pop right back off the screen and then have a good stretch in the game. So I'd love to see him just be more consistent, be the same way throughout a full game, but there's a lot of potential there, a lot of ability. He really has the talent to play at free safety or strong safety, either one. He could even work down into the slot if they needed him as a nickel. So regardless, Brisker has so much ability. He's going to make an impact in the NFL. It's a matter of where he ends up, what scheme they play, where they want to put him. I would lean towards putting him at strong safety because of his ability to come forward, but again, he could play at really any spot they want to put him in, aside from an outside corner. He is a good safety. My player comparison for him is Jesse Bates III. Jesse Bates, having a successful career, again, was just in the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals. Some similarities there in the way that they play. My projection for Brisker, he'll either go in the first round or the second round. I would lean towards the second. Don't think there are going to be a lot of safeties that go early, but because of the lack of depth, if one safety goes, which we know one's going to go very early, and then the second one does go sometime in the mid-first round, we could maybe see 3 go in that first round, maybe even 4, just because teams know I need to jump on a safety now, or else there's not going to be as many later on to pick from, where some of the other classes you can wait and still get starting level talent in the mid-rounds. Best fits for Brisker, Minnesota. I've talked this past week, 2 weeks, about Minnesota and their team needs. Again, looking to continue to improve on the defensive side of the football. Safety is a big one for them. Really think safety might be their biggest position need that they have in this draft. The New York Giants can continue to add to their defense. They have some early picks, 2 first-rounders that they have. They can turn their team around pretty quickly with those early picks. Perhaps the Giants and Brisker would be a really good fit. The Denver Broncos. The Broncos have been improving the offense, taking a lot of strides there. They have good pieces still on the defense. Some holes here or there they need to fill in if they want to compete with the rest of their division. Brisker would put them in the right direction to be able to fill a hole. And then lastly, the wild card, Cincinnati. Cincinnati could definitely add another piece in the secondary, might need another safety. Not probably going to be the starting safety if Brisker goes there, but could be good depth and get some playing time as well off the bench. At number 2, Lewis Cine of Georgia. This is an underrated prospect. Why I think he's underrated, even though probably top 5 for most out there, I think he has been overlooked by some of these other prospects. I just mentioned Brisker, Daxton Hill of Michigan. Some of these guys are looked at higher than Cine, but people shouldn't doubt Lewis Cine and his ability. He was a guy that popped off the screen at Georgia, who have many first-rounders about to go in this draft class. They were loaded on the defensive line. At linebacker, they have good talent in the secondary. But Cine caught my eye constantly when watching them against Clemson in the semifinal, in the championship. He is all over the field because he has some really excellent speed. But the interesting thing with him, despite being a lean safety, not the heaviest safety either, he is violent when he makes a hit. Really fast downhill. Those massive hits really look like a missile locking onto a target. Again, he just delivers that pop. Again, can force some fumbles because of that. Pretty strong in coverage. Doesn't get beat too much, but not really the ball production of some of the other safeties in this class. Doesn't make nearly as many interceptions. Again, he's more of a hard hitter and a tackler. He could definitely become a star safety. Again, you put him next to a safety who, in coverage, likes to roam from sideline to sideline. Very rangy, makes a lot of interceptions. You stick Cine next to that player, going to make an impact. Best comparison I can make is Minka Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, a talented player, all over the place. Perhaps Cine can emulate Fitzpatrick as well. Projection for him, first or second round, I would lean towards going in the first round. If Cine goes earlier, mid first round, then perhaps again a slew of other guys start to go. But my guess is Brisker and Daxton Hill might go before Cine, and then Cine does make it to the second round. He's a great talent and would be an excellent second rounder to pick up. I think any team would be thrilled by getting him. The best fits, the Cincinnati Bengals. Mentioned with Brisker why it would be good for the Bengals to pick up another safety. As for New England, the New England Patriots, another good option there, a great fit. Add to that secondary. Talked a little bit about them, some other shows as well. Continue to add some pieces there on the back end. The Indianapolis Colts might be one of the thinnest teams at safety. A lot of talent other places on the football team have the ability to certainly win their division. They just need to fill some of those holes, and the Colts certainly have a hole at safety. I think either spot, again, they can add pieces, whether that's strong safety or free safety. And then the wild card team, the Detroit Lions. The Lions have a top pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, again in that top 3. We'll see what they do there. They're probably going to go defense, would be my guess. If they go safety at number 2, then they're not going to need Cine later on. But if they do go with an edge rusher, which is also very possible, or they go with another position group, then Cine perhaps second round sitting there for the Detroit Lions. They can capitalize on him being there. At number 1, mentioned the possibility of a safety going very early, and rightly so, Kyle Hamilton of Notre Dame. Hamilton is the best prospect at any position in this upcoming class. He is definitely the number one talent. Just an excellent player, an athletic freak that can range from sideline to sideline. He has that vision to make a break on it. Again, the quarterback looking out to the far sideline. Hamilton's in the middle of the field. He starts running that direction. Quarterback lofts it in there. He can get all the way to the other side and make the interception. Not many people have that athleticism and that vision to be able to do so, those great instincts. A really strong tackler with ideal size. He can come forward, wrap up a ball carrier, even against bigger running backs. But that ball production, that was the biggest question with Hamilton coming into the last season, and he produced. He did well. So there's not really too much of a concern with Hamilton. Nothing major there for him. He does really most everything well. He is an elite guy, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's elite immediately, maybe a Pro Bowler even early on. Again, he will make an impact on the back end of a defense. Depending upon team needs, not sure exactly where he's going to go, but he has the ability to be number one overall as a safety. And that's saying something because it doesn't feel like safeties go at number one very often. Again, could look back and probably count on one hand the amount of times that a safety went at number one. Will he go there? We will wait and see. But my player comparisons for him, Tyrann Mathieu and Derwin James. He has that Mathieu explosiveness and ability there. Mathieu, of course, a little bit better in coverage than Derwin James, I would say. But James then has that physicality and the size to come forward and make an impact, deliver a hit, and make strong tackles. Great mix of two players there. Hamilton's going to shine in the NFL. It's why he'll be a top 5 pick. Whether he's number one, we'll wait and see. But if he doesn't go at 1, expect him to be right off the board, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5. Best fits for him, Jacksonville Jaguars. They need a safety. Can always add the best defensive player in the class. If they end up going Hutchinson, they go with an edge rusher. Then we're looking at a couple other teams that have a swing at Hamilton. The Houston Texans, they could use a safety. The Detroit Lions could always use that on the back end as well. We'll wait and see what happens. I would assume the Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to take Hamilton at 1. So he will probably likely become a Texan or a Detroit Lion. That would be my best guess. Again, little plug for the mock draft coming up here within the next few days, within the next week or so. Get that mock draft out. Before we know it, the draft show will be here as well. Wild card. Last team where Hamilton can maybe fit. If he slips later on, the New York Giants are waiting. Can add him to the secondary. Would be a huge impact player for the New York Giants. Doubt he's going to get there. Probably going to be one of those top 3 teams. Again, everybody who have paid attention each and every single day to the 2022 prospect rankings. Again, all of the Cole's Corner articles. Want to thank everybody. Again, I'm Cole McDaniel. Make sure to stay tuned for mock draft coverage on Keon Sports.